This is a trade that I took on May 26th. If you look closely, this trade, the setup of this trade is somewhat similar to the one that I took on May 8th. Both of these trades were taken as shorts, and just like the trade that I took on May 8th, I also lost on this trade as well. If you lost a trade while still adhering to your setup rules and you felt good while taking a trade, then I think, there's no problem. Losses are actually part of trading. But there are some trades where, after you took them, after you've put in your order, you kind of feel uneasy and there's a bit of hesitancy there and all that. And this is one of them. And so we'll be discussing about some of the elements that I think I overlooked, perhaps because of my fear of missing out. So, without further ado, let's discuss further. So, what do we have here? We have a consolidation going on under the GMMA. The GMMA trend is solid. There is pretty good separation of the MAs. And so, I drew a line here as a immediate support. And my plan was to actually wait for a close below the support line for me to initiate a short position. So that was the game plan. So once this candle starts to appear and I saw that the close was below the support line, I put in my order. And of course, we all know what happened, and price just kind of meander along here and chop around here and there before it went inside the GMMA and closed there. And that is the point where I took my exit. Now, let's analyze the candle that closed below the support line, the trigger candle, so to speak. So if you look at this closely, the close of the candle in question, this candle, it's kind of just barely close below the support line. Now, if we were to look at this candle objectively, taking into account where the close of the candle was with respect to the support line that it broke through, it's not really convincing to me. Probably have to take a double look to see whether it really closed below the support line. Now, whereas if you have a candle like this, now, this one, there's no issue. Close is clearly well below the support line, and you don't really have to zoom your charts to see this. And that's the whole point. If you look at the setup and you do a double take, you have to zoom in a little bit and all that in order to decide whether the setup is valid or not, then that's not really ideal to me. A setup, to me, it should jump out from the chart. It should be really obvious, just like that, Even though setup met my rules where you have a close below the support line, I think it is not really convincing, and I should have waited for a more authoritative candle that closed below the support line. And when you have a more authoritative candle, a more standout candle, it signifies the interest of the market participants. This one is not really, it's kind of neither here nor there. So, if I were to go back in time and have this setup appear before me, it would be one of those setups where I would have given a miss. Okay. So that's it as far as the trade commentaries for this particular setup. Again, it is a setup that I lost. We all learn from our losses. From these setups, from these trades, you learn and you move on and you evolve. So that's it for now, and I will talk to you in the next video.